Hello, Clay County. John Ward, Director of Emergency Management here in the county, and today we wanted to do a real quick brief on what is now Tropical Storm Elsa. Right now, the system is coming over Cuba, and we're waiting to see what it's going to be like as it enters the northern side of Cuba and enters the warm Gulf waters. Right now, it is a very disorganized system, and we're hoping it continues that. But in the meantime, we've got our team here at the Emergency Operations Center that are kind of planning for 3 different planning scenarios as to what this could bring us. If this stays as an unorganized system, it did move a little bit to the west. The best maybe it brings us is a little bit of a weak nor'easter, kind of like what we see in the afternoon thunderstorms, that type thing. The one thing I do want to point out is regardless of what this brings us, it's going to be a late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning impact. So it's going to be overnight, which we always think is a little bit more dangerous for us because we've got a lot of folks that are asleep, not really paying attention to what's going on. Planning scenario 2 in this is, remember, folks along the river and Doctor's Lake, you're in a wide open area off a waterway. So we could potentially see a little bit stronger wind gusts that are coming off of those waterways. And you know, as well as us, you start seeing dropped trees and those type things in those areas. We're very saturated. So this is what we're really concerned about across the entire county is the little bit of winds that we get. And we don't even need tropical storm force winds. As saturated as we are, we could potentially start dropping over trees and seeing some power outages. And then the last planning scenario 3, is if this system redevelops, it moves a little bit back to the east and we end up under a tropical storm warning, get a little bit more impacts, and we're kind of monitoring as to what that could do for us also. So one thing I want to say right now is please pay close attention, whether it's your local media partners, whoever it may be, as to what this storm's going to do. Just because it's disorganized does not mean it's not going to give us any impacts, especially as saturated as we are. Now is the time. A lot of folks have off today, so now is the time to really make sure that family disaster plan is in place and that family disaster kit. Hopefully we won't need it for this, but it is very early in the season. We're already at 5 storms. We could potentially be back here within a few weeks. So make sure that family disaster kit is prepared. Make sure before you go to bed tomorrow or before tomorrow evening, make sure all your cell phones are charged and all the kids' devices, make sure they're charged to keep them occupied too if for some reason we're without electricity or something along those lines. Again, for those folks along the river, Doctor's Lake, and Black Creek, we are not expecting any significant flooding at this point unless something changes where we're going to get more rainfall. The prediction right now is both South Prong and North Prong could potentially go into action stage, but we've got to get well into minor flooding stage, which is a few more feet before we start seeing any impacts. Those of you that live along the creek, Doctor's Lake, and the river, you know how to kind of prepare and take those extra steps. So now is really the time to take a look at that. On Tuesday at 10 a.m., we will be opening our call center, 877-252-9362. If you have any questions, again, 877-252-9362. As we go in through the storm tomorrow night, if you get any sort of damages to your home, trees down across roadways, power lines down, those type things, obviously if it's a power line, we want you to reach out to your local power authority. But if you start seeing significant trees down, those type things, please call that call center so we can report the damages accordingly. Again, we're not expecting significant flooding with this. We're going to see a lot of water ponding, but we're not planning on doing sandbags at this point unless something changes where this storm shifts more to the east and gives us a more defined storm. So Clay County, now's the time to prepare. Go to alert.claycountygov.com to take those preparedness actions, and thank you.